Hi, I'm Claire Fallon.
And I'm Emma Gray.
We're the hosts of Here to Make Friends, a podcast for anyone who loves
or loves to hate
the Bachelor franchise.
It's time for us to dig into some superlatives for week 5 of Bachelor in Paradise. Can you believe it's almost over?
I really can't, and yet I feel like it's been going on for my entire life.
I agree. But there were some standout moments during these 2 episodes.
There certainly were. Let's start with most unprepared for a career as an attorney.
John Paul Jones, who does not seem to understand that it's good to actually have evidence when you make an allegation.
Derek is a creep. That is a fact.
Or at the very least, don't admit openly and publicly that you do not have evidence.
I don't have a lot of claims to substantiate that point, but listen, I know the frauds when I see them.
Yeah, I think he needs to rewatch Legally Blonde, and specifically the scene where Elle Woods answers in class that you need to have evidentiary support.
Like, evidentiary support?
When you're going to make a claim in court. I mean, come on, man. This is basic stuff.
I just have instinct, right? I feel when something's off, right? There's a reason why animals know to fly south for the winter. We have instinct just like them.
Next, most not over their ex.
I mean, it seemed like it was going to be Angela, but I'm actually going to have to say Clay.
Yeah, it was really touch and go there for a while, but Angela came onto that beach pretty cool, calm, and collected, went on 2 dates, and Clay was just losing his goddamn mind.
Why would you want to throw yourself into this situation? And I didn't come here to see my ex-girlfriend. I came here to find someone. I mean, in real life, if you run into your ex, you can walk away.
While we know that Angela really struggled with their breakup and probably is still struggling with it at this point, Clay was the one who really seemed completely distracted by their history and by the fact that he was going to be forced to undergo the deep trauma of watching her date other people.
This is why you should never date in Bachelor Nation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the whole premise of these people's fame. It's tough.
Next, we have most Nick V.
Here I am.
Well, it's got to be Luke S.
Yes, this is kind of a gimme. I mean, Luke S. walks onto this beach, and his entire storyline is, doesn't that guy look a lot like Nick V?
Luke reminded me of my ex, Nick Royale.
He's the poor man's Nick V.
And he does.
There's a similarity.
We see it. Unfortunately, he probably would prefer to be given some sort of personality. Alas, not in the cards for him.
Not this time.
Next, we have the most chaste first date.
This one's going to go to Matt Donald with Sydney. Matt gives his half of a double date card to young Sydney, and they seem to be having a nice time, chatting, connecting, but he doesn't want to lay one on her.
He's worried about his mother.
My mom is gonna freaking kill me. If I'm making out with chicks and stuff, she's gonna kill me.
What will she do if she sees him lock lips on television on a dating show that is explicitly about locking lips on television?
I feel like he should have thought this one through a little bit further.
Maybe.
Out of respect for you and out of respect for myself, I think this time needs to be right and all that stuff, so totally.
Next we have most unlikely friendship.
Derek and Christian. This was actually such a sweet moment. Derek, of course, packs his bags and leaves the beach this week. Sad. But he and Christian share a really sweet, intimate moment.
I appreciate you so much.
And hug as he's leaving, and she calls him a beautiful person.
Yes, from rivals to friends.
I really respect him as a human. I just can only hope the best for him.
It really reminds me of, those occasional viral tweets where a moose becomes best friends with a duck. You love to see it. It fills you with warmth. It fills you with, the positivity that's so much lacking in the rest of life these days.
Maybe humanity will be okay.
Maybe.
Probably not. Next, we have the least chaste first date.
This is really incredible. Matt Donald is very restrained with Sydney. He has to be coached into giving her their first kiss the day after their first date. And then when Bree walks down the beach and takes him out on a date, he just goes flying into it lips first.
I mean, he was worried about his mother. And then never again.
Yeah.
It's amazing how being with a blonde supermodel can just shift all of your morals around.
Yeah. It can really change you from someone who doesn't kiss on a first date to someone who
absolutely
must. Absolutely on a first date after doing some sort of water surfing kind of activity. Next we have most transparent plagiarism.
Blake, who just blatantly paraphrased Harry from When Harry Met Sally. I mean, Blake, come on. We have all seen this movie.
When you realize what you want in the life you want, like you want it to start immediately.
We all know the iconic quotes. It's a Nora Ephron film.
This is one of the most well-known quotes from a movie, I think.
Ever?
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
I mean, that's probably why he knew to even say something like this. You know, he reached back into his brain, and what came out was something that he maybe thought was original, but it turns out he had just seen When Harry Met Sally.
He's like, if I know one thing, it's that to be romantic, you have to say, when I realize that I love you, I need my life to start now, right? Something like that. Yeah, he's like circling it.
It's very romantic.
Very romantic.
Next, we have most hypermasculine definition of ambition.
Gotta give this one to Clay as well. And look, we love Clay, but this was not his finest moment. He decides to pull Angela aside to have like a very adult conversation, clear the air, a good move. But instead he ends up telling her that she just wasn't as ambitious as he was.
I just felt like our goals and ambitions aren't parallel. That's just something I want, to push each other.
When you weren't doing anything the whole time we were together, I pushed you because I knew that's what you wanted. I never told you not to go to the gym.
I want you to go to the gym with me.
Clay, you go to the gym for 4 hours.
Because she didn't go to the gym with him for 4 hours, it's all a little bit unclear, but the gym was definitely central to his definition of ambition.
Yeah, becoming a mother, not ambitious enough, going to the gym for 4 hours a day, extremely ambitious.
Especially when you are not trying to accomplish anything athletic for your professional life.
Well, I mean, look, Clay comes from that NFL background, and he seems to define ambition as making an NFL team and being swole. And, you know, that is a very valid goal, but there are some other valid ones out there as well.
It's true.
Next, we have most welcome departure.
Dean's mustache. I mean, R.I.P. as far as Claire is concerned.
Some of us actually liked the mustache.
But Deanie rolls up his sleeves, puts on an all-black outfit, and shaves that mustache right off. Because he's here for love, people. That was Dean then. This is Dean now.
Mustaches are incompatible with love and relationships,
true. It's just,
as we all know.
We don't make the rules.
Mm-hmm. They're only compatible with wearing a t-shirt that says free mustache rides, and we all know that's not boyfriend material.
Next, we have the actual most rom-com IRL move.
Dean coming back for Caelynn. I mean, this was the look that Blake wanted his play for Kristina's heart to have, but he slips up a little bit, doesn't really come across as genuine. Dean swoops in with the big romantic speech, the big proposition.
Worked. It worked for us, is what I'm saying. We don't yet know if it worked for Caelynn, but it worked for us.
I came here to ask you if that you would leave paradise with me today.
We'll leave paradise with you, Dean.
That is just like you, Harry. You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you.
Next we have, you know, one of our old faithfuls, most likely to get sent home next week.
Look, I think it's going to be Connor because I have a feeling that Caelynn is going to respond well ultimately to this Dean speech and leave the beach with him. And that leaves Connor kind of with no one because the couples are really solidifying.
Yeah, I mean, what is she supposed to be, some kind of superhero that she can withstand that like romantic onslaught from Dean?
I mean, who among us could?
Mm-hmm. Next, we have most likely to end up together.
I think we're going to still give this one to Demi and Christian.
I mean, there's really no other people they could end up with at this point. They're really committed to each other. They've
They've
made that
said
very
I
clear.
love you multiple times. They had a previous relationship. They're committed to each other. Like, they're leaving this beach together.
But this is also kind of a gimme question, because I think a lot of them are going to end up together. I think we're going to see a lot of proposals.
Dylan and Hannah?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of proposals this season. And a lot of couples leaving the beach together.
So much to look forward to next week.
Love blooming.
And that's it for this week's Here to Make Friends Superlatives. Join us again for more love
and snark
when we discuss next week's finale of Bachelor in Paradise.
Until then, you can check out Here to Make Friends on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.